Hi guys, welcome to Making It with Dee. I'm Dee, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some of my progress that I've made in the brand new year of 2024. So I know that it's only midway through January, but I haven't posted a video in a while, so I thought it's probably a good idea to share some of my makes that I've made in the past few weeks. So this will cover sewing, knitting and crocheting as well. Stay tuned. To start off with, I'm going to start off with my sewing makes because that's probably the most exciting part, and it's the only one that I have finished objects for. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time or too much time to knit over the holidays, and I've already started back at work, so my knitting time is quite limited, but I have managed to complete 2 finished objects in sewing. If you remember, I talked about my linen, my previous videos. I mentioned my 2 holiday dresses that I was going to make. The one turned into a dress with the gingham material, but the second item I have decided to create 2 garments out of it. I have allowed my husband to convince me to make a skirt and a top out of the material instead of making a dress, because most of the dress patterns that I showed him just to get his second opinion on, he wasn't very happy with. But I'm having a few second thoughts about that, so I'll talk about that a little bit more. To show the first finished garment, oh, I didn't talk about what I was wearing. So what I'm wearing today is my everyday dress from the Peppermint magazine pattern, the free pattern that I showed in one of my previous videos. It's very, very loose. It's basically just a square. So you don't even have to cut the sleeves out, it's just there. And you just do a neckline. And pockets, it's my favorite part. It does come with a belt, so it's just a strip that I have sewn it, but we're having extremely hot weather these days here in New Zealand, where it is summer, not winter, and so I'm having an opportunity to wear my dresses that I've made, and that's been fantastic. So I'm wearing the everyday dress, and I really love this material. It is cotton. It's got a very linen look to it, and a very linen feel to it. So yeah, I love the patterns on it, and I love everything about it. So first item, finished object I made is this blouse. And it's in my navy linen that I bought, that I was going to make a dress out of. 2 things about this blouse pattern. It has a zip! If you watch my previous videos, you'll realize why the reaction. I am not a fan of doing zippers in anything. I have extreme zipper anxiety. But look at how good I did this. I'm proud of myself, I have to say, except that the first time I finished this blouse and I put it on, I tried it on with the zipper and sleeves and everything, it did have this like bulging in the back where the zipper goes whoop, like that, and it stands out like that. I was just so annoyed because I thought I did such a really good, I feel I did a good job with putting the zipper in. The pattern does ask for an invisible zipper. I didn't have one the right color, so I just used a regular zipper, and I put it in this way so that you can still see the zipper. But I think I did a very neat job, and it looks very good, even just hanging on the hanger. But that's not where it's gonna live, right? It's gonna be on my body. So when I tried it on, I was really frustrated. So onto YouTube I went to find out how to fix this bulge, and almost every video talked about cutting in 1 inch of from the waist to cut in on the back seams, seam allowances, to cut into it and in at least an inch or half an inch, some were saying. I thought, oh God, I'm not doing that. I am not going to take this thing apart and cut into it and then stitch it back together to get rid of this. What I did do was, because there are already darts on the back here, I decided to make the darts a little bit wider. So I kind of took the half inch out of the side that way by increasing the darts. So the fold in there, whoop, and that side. And that seemed to have fixed the problem. I mean, I'm comfortable with the way that it looks now, and you can see on the video when I show you where I'm wearing it, I'm comfortable with the way it looks. What I love about this pattern is this little ties on the front here. I think it's just gorgeous. It just adds that extra little something, you know, that extra little details that you can't buy in the store. You don't see it in the stores. But that's the joys of being able to create your own things, right? So here is my top. Used binding on the inside of the neck. And yeah, I think I did a pretty good job, and I used this pattern. It's a simplicity pattern, and I'll link it, I'll put it in the description box below. It's a simplicity pattern, and it is, which one? This one that I used to make this blouse. Simplicity pattern 8840. I'm very happy with that. The pat on the back. Okay, and then as you can see in the photo, I also made a skirt out of the linen material. And I used to be really chuffed about doing things with the same material so that I can wear it as a dress together, or I can also get a few more outfits out of it if I make a skirt, bottom and top. So this is the skirt, and I just used my favorite skirt pattern. It's got pockets on the front here, and I used my favorite skirt pattern, but I used it in a different way this time around. So these are little bottom bit that I added. The pattern kind of tells you to use a contrast fabric for the bottom, but I didn't have enough lengthwise of the material to cut it all out in one, but I did have enough to add a bottom bit, so that's what I chose to do. And I used my favorite skirt pattern. It's a new look pattern. I have made so many skirts using this pattern. It's super easy, and it's just the best. I did a bit of a mishmash here. So I used a bit of E and a bit of C. So I used E for the top of the skirt, and then I added the band. I added C's band. So for the main pattern it was E, and then I added C's band because it was thicker. It made the skirt a little bit longer, long enough the way that I like it, you know, in length. So that's what I've done, and I have to say I'm really pleased with it. But the comment that I want to add is that I feel like at my age, and I'm not trying to be ageist or anything, just, you know, when you're a woman over 40 and you're going through a certain time of life, you just want to be kind of free. I feel like I want my body to feel like unrestricted by clothing that I wear, especially when it's hot, especially in summer. So I kind of like the big loose just hanging dresses that you don't have to worry about. My husband on the other hand doesn't like that look. And I'm thinking I can accommodate with belts and that, and so in the future I'm going to make what I like to wear, but still be able to have a dress that's got some shape in it. He doesn't like the shapeless because he says it looks like a tent, and I don't know if I should be saying this on YouTube, but I just did. So there's that. And a lot of the patterns, the dress patterns that are coming out, or that are sort of trendy nowadays, it's just this big balloon, and also the big the tiered dresses that are so wide. Even the ones with like the, you know, the baby doll style with the up here, and then the big gathered, or the tiers. I mean, I'm not fond of that style. I don't feel like I look good in that kind of material, but I'm just gonna have to find something that meets us both in the middle of the road. Okay, so that's my conclusion. Now you'll see in the video I've put some examples of tops that I can wear with this skirt as well, that I have made. So I showed this one in the previous video. This is the same pattern that I used to make this linen top with. Same pattern, exactly the same pattern, but it is instead of A, what number is it? It is number C. So it's the same simplicity pattern, but I did C for this top. Okay, and you'll see in the video how this two looks together. I just love it, and it's able to make that. And I feel like, you know, it's another thing that I can have added to my wardrobe, so I've added a different look. This blouse, as you can hear, this fabric, this was really cheap material, but I tell you what, it is so cool to wear, cool to me, to my body, and so I made this, oh gosh, how long ago? A while, like probably 2019 I made this blouse, and it actually looks really good with this linen skirt. As you can see, I have put there what it looks like. And so the pattern I use for this blouse, I love this blouse so much. It's just a little bit, you know, with this tie on the side. It just ties just nicely to the side like that. And this is the pattern I used for this blouse. It is another new look pattern, number 6471. Is it? Yeah, it is. Yep. And I used the combination of, I think, A and B, because I made it short sleeved, but I used A's pattern, which is the one in the picture here, but you can't actually see the tie because it's because of the fabric. In this picture you can't really see the tie, but this is the one I used, the pattern I used to make this blouse. And I love it. And I wanted to show other skirts that I could wear with the top, but I couldn't find any kind of handy ones that that I had made. I do have plenty of other skirts that I will be wearing with this linen top, but they won't be made by me. I will remedy that in the near future, but that's just to say that that's the reason why you only see me wearing the skirt with the different tops. And there are plenty more other tops I have as well, but not that I've made. So there's just that. I just wanted to show some of the things that I made, that are made by me, that I can wear together. Okay, so that satisfies the sewing part of this video, and also all of the finished objects. That's it. That's all I have made in the last 3 weeks since my last video. And I decided I won't put pressure on myself, because this is a hobby and I want to enjoy what I make. So my works in progress, let's move to whips. Let's go with the one that I cast on since last time. I am knitting a daisy cardigan using this beautiful daisy motif vera wool, which is I will tell you the composition of this wool. It is now, I don't have my glasses, but I can read. It's 41% acrylic, 18% nylon, 12% mohair, and 23% glitter, and then 6% superwash wool. And it is a motif vera, a daisy, and that's why the cardigan is called a daisy cardigan. And it's a beautiful long length cardigan. I'll put a picture here of what it should look like. The one in the pattern book that I have, that I bought at Spotlight, is in red, using the same wool but in red. And you can't, I don't know if you can see the glitter. Yes, you can. That looks great. I love it. This is the progress I've made so far. This is the back of the cardigan, and I've come to the point now where I'm going to decrease for the armholes. So this is kind of down there. It's how long the cardigan's gonna be, and I love it. I love it already. So there. This is definitely going to satisfy my need for a navy cardigan, which is what I have found to be of need in my wardrobe, which is why I am knitting this. And I'm having an okay time. I mean, size 5mm knitting needles, so it'll knit up pretty quickly, I think. And it's a mindless knit, so this is something that I can just do and not have to worry about it. But so this has been on my needles for the last 3 weeks. I've spent a bit of time doing that, getting that far in the project. The next whip I'm going to talk about is my The Truth Hurts cardigan by Wool and the Gang. I'm not using Wool and the Gang wool. I'm using a mixed fibers blend that I also bought at Spotlight. And I have so far done, let me show you, we have got one of the sides, let's say this is the right side, then we have got, oh, there's the back. There's the back. And we also have one side, left side, and so we've got these two sides. This is a wrapped cardigan, and I'll put the end picture on as well so you can see what it should look like. Just in case you haven't watched my previous video, I'll show you what it's meant to look like, what the end result should be. So there's that. And then I have made progress with the sleeves. So since my last video, I now have this much progress with the sleeves. As you can see, I've done both sleeves at the same time, and I'm doing both sleeves at the same time. I got this great tip from another YouTuber, a knitter as well, or a maker as well, because she does sew and does all sorts of other wonderful things. Brooke Willow is a channel name, and so she talked about doing socks. When she does her socks, she casts them both on at the same time, so that she can avoid getting the you know, second sock syndrome, where you finish the one sock and you just can't be bothered doing the next one. So I thought, what a good idea. And I saw in one of another videos that she also did it with cardigans. If you knit it flat, you have that ability to be able to do it like this. Of course, if you're doing it on, if you're casting on, if you're picking up stitches for sleeves, if you're knitting it in the round, then it's a different story. You can't exactly do it. But so this way you can. And so it's taking a little bit longer, and because it's a lace pattern, oh my gosh, I'm having so much I'm having a bit of a hard time with this lace pattern. I lie, it's not a hard time, it's just I can't, it's not mindless. Even though I've memorized the pattern by now, it took me all the way to the sleeves to be able to memorize the pattern. I just couldn't do it for the back or either of the sides. So this is a chevron lace pattern, it's called, and it's a beautiful pattern. It's a lovely stitch. I love it, and I think it looks beautiful. The self-striping yarn, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about how it looks, but we'll see when the finished object is there and just what I can wear it with and how it will look. I was hoping to have this done already by this time, but yeah, it's taking a while. I'm gonna try and finish it this weekend, and then I'll post it in my next video as part of my finished objects. So that's my other whip. Now, last whip for this video is a crochet project, which is one that I wanted to try a different skill. I wanted to try mosaic. I actually wanted to try mosaic knitting, but then the yarn that I bought, that I had in stash, because I have made a commitment that I'm not going to buy any more yarn until I have destashed. So I am stash busting at the moment, trying to use up all the crappy yarns that I bought in the past, not knowing anything about fibers and how it works and all of that. So I'm just learning about that. And because I have all this scrappy yarn, I'm trying to use it up in projects that are wearable. I don't want to chuck this. It's not a waste. Just because it's acrylic, it doesn't mean it's crap. So so there. So what I've done, what I've picked up is a project. It's a crochet blanket project, mosaic. And so I have not made a lot of progress with this. In my previous video I talked about how I tried a different mosaic pattern, but because of the wool I was kind of limited because of the colorfulness in this wool and the way that the contrast color doesn't come up in it. This is what I've got so far. It's going to be a blanket. It was supposed to be a blanket for our camp that we've already had. And I didn't finish it. It's just too hot to work with this thick wool. This has become sort of an easy-ish stitch to master now. The mosaic, what I find fascinating about this mosaic is, I mean, look at the back of this. Doesn't it look fascinating? I mean, I actually like it. So I guess with mosaic it depends on the colors that you're using, what looks good and what doesn't. These wools are different plies. So this is the colorful one is a 12 ply, and the navy is an 8 ply. But it doesn't seem to matter for this project, and it's both acrylic wool. So I think I'm gonna finish this hopefully by the end of the month. My son's going to university, he's leaving home, and I would like to give him something to take with him for those lonely uni nights when he's studying. You can maybe drape it over his lap or over his shoulders when he's sitting at his desk, or we can just put it on his bed if he wants to be reminded of mummy. Or of home, let's put it that way, of home, if he wants to be reminded of home. So there's that. So that was my final whip, and now can I just quickly talk about plans. I just have two plans that I wanted to already have cast on by now. I am planning to cast on a cotton project. I am planning to cast on the shadow short sleeves top, which is this one. this is what I'm planning to cast on this week. I don't know if I should. Hopefully I will be finished with my not Daisy, I lie, with my Truth Hurts cardigan, so that I can have space now to cast this on, because I want to wear this in the summer still while it's still summer here. I've got until February, the end of February, but it can also be a nice layering piece, so I'm not really fussed with about the season. I think I can definitely wear this with other things over the top of it, if it's too cool. And this is the yarn I'm planning to use to make this with. It's also a Moda Vera yarn, and it's 80% cotton and 13% nylon, and just in this cream color. And so I am excited to see what this is going to look like. I don't think I've ever worn or made anything. I don't think I've made anything with this kind of blend, and I don't know how it's going to feel on my skin or on my body, if it's going to be cool or hot or one of those kind of stuffy pieces. But if it is a warm-ish shirt then, or top, then it should be fine for the continuing seasons for the year. Then it can be an all-season top, right? So that's the plan with that. My plans for casting on. And then I have got this this wool I showed in my last video. It's such a pretty color and it's so soft. I don't know what fiber it is, but it's got these 4 plies that are not twisted, and I don't know what to do with this. I tried to knit up a little bit of a swatch just to see what it might look like, and I'm telling you, it doesn't feel like, it doesn't look like it holds stitches consistently. Maybe it blocks nicely. I should have blocked it, but here, this is what it looks like when it's knitted up on 4mm needles. Maybe it's not so bad, I don't know. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, which I'm not so sure why, but I don't know what this material, this fiber is. It doesn't say. When I hold it here and it's not stretched, it comes out kind of like stripy with like lines on it. I don't know if you can see it from there. Maybe I won't stretch it. Maybe if I hold it like this, then you can see. It's as if my knit or my purl stitches are stands out a lot more. It's probably my gauge or my tension. When I knit, and I might be knitting, look at the back, I might be knitting one tighter than the other so that it looks like that. I'm not sure that would be cute in any type of garment. So I've got quite a few of these balls. I really like the softness, the soft look in it. When I bought it, it came in a little plastic bag, so I couldn't see that the ply was kind of unspun or untwisted. It's not plied, basically. It's just loose strands, and so I need to look up how to use this yarn. I have kind of started a search, and one of the answers I got was just you can use it to knit sweaters with, but you do need to make sure that you hold each strand the same tightness. It seems like a bit of a mission, but maybe eventually. I mean, I'm trying to de-stash, so I'm trying to use up all the stash that I bought, so I really need to think about something for this one. And then possibly talking about acquisitions, I bought myself a yarn winder. This is not big news, but for me it's kind of big. When my niece contacted me and showed me a picture of this thing, this yarn winder, she said to me, oh, I need to get myself one of these. I was like, why do you need that? What is it? And I looked it up. It's a yarn winder. What do you need it for? Oh, to wind your yarn, and I'm like, but the yarn usually comes wound. What's the point? Anyway, I found out what the point is, and so I got myself one of these, and very happy with the purchase. At the moment it is a novelty item for me, and so winding balls of yarn is still a two-person task in my house. So my husband has kindly helped me to look how beautiful this looks. I'm so chuffed. And so this is the Wild Earth yarns that I was kind of gifted, and if you've watched my previous video you'll know what I mean. But I was really quite stoked with the colors that I have. Look at these beautiful colors. Look how well they go together. Now there is a lighter color. I wasted this yarn on crochet items that I might frog this one. This is a hat that I'll never wear. Not crocheted. It's not very good. It's a granny square hat that I try to make from a YouTube video, and I don't think the seaming of the granny squares, or when I joined it to the thing, I don't think it came out nice. I mean, it's not awful. It does look big on the girl who does the video, or makes the video as well, and so it looks big on my head as well. But I thought, because I didn't know what to do with this yarn, it's so scratchy, that I didn't want to do things that I'd wear on my skin. But now I've got other ideas. So here's the lighter color. Before I had my yarn winder, look what I did. That's nasty. Okay, so I've changed that now up, and so now I've got this beautiful color combination. I'll take this hat if it's hot. And so I decided that I'm going to try and make a shawl with this yarn, and I'm going to actually finally have a chance to do that mosaic knitting that I wanted to do. And I've heard about this really cool pattern. It's a mosaic knitting pattern by the designer Amy Christophers. I've heard about this pattern from one of the current ongoing knit-alongs that's happening at the moment. It's called the I Can Buy Myself Flowers Cal, and it's being hosted by Casey from Young Folk Knits and somebody else, I don't know, can't remember. But she talked about this pattern, these patterns, and I think she's created, because there's so many different pressed flowers patterns by Amy Christophers. Cardigan, a vest, a cowl, I think, and maybe a hat as well. But the shawl is the one that caught my eye, and I thought, seeing as how I travel quite a bit for work, it would be nice to have like a blanket that you can be kind of you know, like on the flights, it would be nice to have a sanctioned blanket by way of a shawl. And I thought it would be perfect. And look at these beautiful fall colors. I mean, can you go wrong? I don't think I can go wrong. I've got enough of this yarn to create that. And I've also looked on ways on how to soften this wool, which I believe does have mohair in it. And so I'm going to knit up the shawl, block it, treat it, and then block it. And hopefully I will have a beautiful pressed flowers shawl. And so I'm going to have to purchase the pattern, which is going to be my first purchase. It's not expensive. I don't think it's probably the equivalent of 8 New Zealand dollars for the pattern. I mean, that's not a lot. Not a lot. I think I can handle that. I think my wallet can handle that. I was determined not to spend money unnecessarily on anything for my hobby, because I've got enough. I've got enough stash, I've got enough everything. The one thing I do need in order to make this shawl is a cable that's longer than the ones I currently have. So that's the other purchase I might need to make as well in order to make this this pattern. But I did think that it would be a really cool thing to make. so I'm looking forward to that, and I can cast that on at any time. I think once I've finished my cardigan, or maybe I'll have it as a whip, an ongoing whip, hopefully to be finished before summer ends, because I think that the shawl will be nice for summer as well, especially for my travels. So yeah, I think that is the end of my video. I hope if you're still here, thanks for hanging out with me here on Making It with Dee. Feel free to give us a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. It would mean so much to me, and also it'll help me grow my channel, which is one thing I would like to do. So if you hit that subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notifications bell so that you'll be alerted when I post another video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.